Yeah, I know, yeah. I'm doing great. Yeah, it's been busy, but that's all fun stuff. With the new job looming, it's more exhausting. Hello, Jeannie, how are you? I mean, let's say it was 2 sentences, right?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming tonight. If you could please rise, we will say the pledge. Thank you. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Okay, this evening we're going to start with our student representative. We have a report. Hold on one second. Can I get a motion to open, please? Second. All in favor? Okay, now we're open. Now we can have our student representatives.
Good evening. My name is Emmy Pierre, and I'm currently in ninth grade at Thank you. Good evening. My name is Emmy Pierre, and I'm currently in ninth grade at Malverne High School. I would just like to begin with thanking the faculty, staff, and administrators for making Malverne High School a place where I can explore all my different interests, whether it is learning a new instrument or playing on a sports team. I've had the pleasure to further my education beyond my academics. Here at Malverne, I'm a member of the marching band. Marching band has taught me discipline and motivation, was placing 5th place at last year's Syracuse Championships in the Elite Small School Division 1 and marching at Disney World in 2024. This program has made me a better student and a better person. I was also a part of Model UN. We attended our very first conference at Plainview. It was there at Plainview where my fellow peers and I engaged in intriguing, intense, and intellectual debates with other students across Long Island. Model UN gave me a space to think past basic curriculum and opened a whole new side of public speaking for me. Lastly, I was a midfielder on the JV girls lacrosse team. As you may or may not know, we combined with East Rockaway to form MER. We've had several wins, but the biggest win of them all was the bond I formed with my teammates. That's something I will cherish forever and look forward to next season. Thanks to Malverne High School, I'm able to engage myself in activities of all sorts. I'm grateful for all the opportunities I've been given at this school and will take advantage of everything offered here. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Hello, and my name is Lorena Koo, and I'm a freshman at Malverne High School. I want to thank all the staff, faculty, and administrators of the Malverne District for making everything offered here possible. Here at Malverne High School, it's great because it has a supportive environment and a dedicated staff that encourages all students to reach their full potential. There are many extracurriculars offered here, and I am part of a variety of them, including our very own Malverne High School Marching Band, Community Service Club, and the World Culture Club and Model UN, and the Varsity Girls Track Team. Our school has provided opportunities for a lot of inclusive events, and to end off this school year, our school had an event where the attendance was more than any previous event hosted here. And there were a number of programs, all with traditions from a lot of ethnicities. It included a Chinese dance from the Chinese Center of Long Island and a number of songs, all performed by a lot of students from here, our very own Malvern High School. In marching band, in 2024, we are going to have the pleasure of traveling to Disney World all the way in Florida to showcase our talents where it hasn't been seen before. Outside of extracurriculars, here at Malvern High School, we are part of EF Educational Tours, which travels to different parts of the world to experience all new cultures, as we have an educational aspect in it as well. The varsity girls track team has won county championships, and the boys and girls 4x4 and 4x1 team has made it to state qualifiers. And Model UN, it has given me the opportunity to learn about conflicts in the world and find new ways to tackle them. I have gained a whole new world of public speaking abilities and a chance to feel more confident in the way I formally address others. Here at Malvern High School, it provides a variety of opportunities in and out of academics, and I will be sure to take full advantage of each and every one of them in the remaining 3 years of my high school career. I want to thank you and have a good night.
Thank you so much. Chris, can I get the treasurer's report, please?
Good evening. The May 2023 Treasurer's Report was provided to the board last week. If any of the board members have questions on the May report, they can ask now or at a later time.
Does anyone have any questions? Can I get a motion to approve the May treasurer's report? All in favor? Thank you. Chris, can you give me the May financial report, please?
The monthly financial reports for May 2023 were provided to the board last week. If any of the board members have any questions on any of the various financial reports for May, they can ask now or at a later time.
Does anyone have any questions? Can I get a motion to approve the financial reports for May? All in favor? Yes. Thank you. Lorna, you ready? Dr. Lewis.
So good evening, everyone. This is the end of a wonderful school year, made even more wonderful by the work that was done by our PTA. So we are going to tonight say a big thank you for all of the PTA members who have so admirably served their buildings. We're going to be recognizing them with a certificate of service and a small gift of appreciation from the district. So I have asked the principals to help me. I'm going to go down so that they can help me, and then we're going to, at the end, take a picture with all of the PTA folks who have been serving the buildings and are leaving us with the board. Mr. Talon.
Good evening, everyone. Good to see everyone this evening. Yes, we have and had who are leaving an amazing board for our Maurice W. Downing who are leaving. Amazing, amazing people to work with. When it gets towards the end, I will shed a tear. Katie Poi, come on up. Kathleen Prenesti. Aisha Demosthenes. It only took 3 years. It was always Aisha D. Thank you, Mr. Talon. You're welcome. Heather Zwillick. Anna Barbagallo. and Megan Lowe.
Okay. Dr. Uden? Sounds good, right?
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I know that not everyone could be here tonight, but I'm going to announce everyone's names because those names need to be mentioned for their unwavering service to our Davison Avenue PTA. And these people have served during interesting times, normal times, returning to normal times, and I'm just so very, very grateful. Haley Kelch. Evelyn Mejia. Claudia Mledick. Carlene Edwards. And last but not least, our exiting president, Venicia Hayward.
Mr. Nelson? You don't see it.
Thank you so much, my dear friends. Andrea Rayola. Tara Brennan. And we have one missing, Teresa Izzo. Thank you to all three of you guys.
Dr. Romano?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I've had the opportunity over the past 10 years as the principal to work with some fantastic PTA. But the last 2 years under the leadership of Ms. Babb and Ms. Davis-Wilkinson have been incredible. Their commitment and dedication to the students has been unmatched. And one of the things they put a lot of commitment to was raising funds for our students at the high school. This year we're giving 2 scholarships, lawn signs, and a senior breakfast, along as the appreciation breakfast for our teachers and welcome back luncheon. So they've done a tremendous job. And our special members tonight, who are leaving us very sadly, but we do appreciate all that they've done. Anne-Marie McDougall, Andrew Grant, who is our treasurer, and Christine Rivera, who is in charge of membership, correct? Thank you so much.
Thank you. And we also have the Central Council, which was revived this year. And we're losing some, 2, I think our treasurer of Central Council. And I'm going to ask Dion to come up. Dion Henson Sexton. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And Melissa. Thank you so much, Melissa. Appreciate it. So I'm going to ask all of our PTA officers if they would come forward so that we could take a picture together and the board can join us in thanking you. I cannot say enough about the work that you do. It makes our district shine, and all the wonderful things that you give of your time to allow us to do. So thank you so much. Please. Principals? And before the PTA leaves, we only have one retiree this year, and Dr. Romano is going to help me with this retiree who has, I believe, been in almost every school, right? You've been in all the schools? I know for sure you've been in all the schools, and now is at the high school, and Dr. Romano is going to present the retiree, Ms. Milstein, with a plaque from the district. He will read it. And our PTA will honor you with flowers.
They always say save the best for last. So they saved the high school for last, and it was a pleasure getting to know you in your final years of your career. And those of you that don't know, Ms. Milstein works with some of our hardest to teach students, our ENL population. Some of them come with very little background, very little educational background, little family support. And I'll tell you, our students flourish in the high school. Ms. Milstein is a critical part with that, working with Ms. Mangini and Ms. Daza to make sure our students are successful, caring and compassionate and passionate about what you do, and caring for our students is what made them successful. That's who you are. And 24 years of exceptional service and dedication. Congratulations on your retirement. Enjoy.
Annually, we're required to do a safety and security plan, and Mr. Balsam will present that.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. So I just want to draw everybody's attention to the Malverne Union Free School District website. Every year, this is an annual process. We update our safety plans, and that's located there. We're required to post it for 30 days. It also is in the resolution section of the agenda. So again, it's an annual document. We encourage you to go look at it. The Malverne Union Free School District District-wide Safety Plan. Thank you.
During COVID, we received a significant amount of funds to help us through that. Those funds will last for 3 years, and Mr. Caputo has the responsibility of getting all the audits on it and making sure that we're spending it in the right way. And the public is required to see our plans and how we've spent it. So this is an annual obligation that we.
Good evening. Tonight we'll be going through some slides for the American Rescue Plan update. As Dr. Lewis mentioned, the American Rescue Plan program was a 3-year program. New York State was allocated nearly $9 billion in American Rescue Plan funds, with about 90% going to the local education agencies, including all public school districts in New York State. Malvern's 3-year allocation was just over $2.1 million for the 3 fiscal years. Of that $2.1 million, following amounts were must have been dedicated towards specific areas: $100,000 towards summer enrichment, $100,000 for after-school programming, and just under $500,000 for addressing lost instructional time. As part of the plan, the district was required to prioritize spending on some non-recurring expenses in the following areas: safely returning students to in-person instruction, maximizing in-person instructional time, operation of schools and meeting the needs of students, purchasing educational technology, addressing the impacts of COVID on the students, including the impacts on interrupted instruction and learning loss, and the impacts on low-income students, children with disabilities, English language learners, and students experiencing homelessness, implementing evidence-based strategies to meet students' social, emotional, and mental health and academic needs, and offering evidence-based summer, after-school, and other extended learning enrichment programs. As Dr. Lewis mentioned, this was a multi-year plan and program. We have now completed two years, with 2 years in, with 1 year remaining. Approximately $1.4 million of funding was allocated and invested in the first 2 years for the following activities: summer school programs from K to 8, after-school instruction for the secondary buildings, reading programs at Davison and Downing, including necessary PD, salaries for instructional personnel, including teacher assistants, special education teacher, reading teachers, social worker, elementary teacher, and world language teacher, salaries for non-instructional personnel, including part-time security, as well as custodians, the STEM academic program at the high school, mental health service provider for students district-wide with our BOCES partnership, behavioral health consultant, including professional development for instructional staff, district-wide software communications platform for the community, buildings and grounds equipment, and lastly, internet technology equipment, including wireless access points and switches. Looking ahead, the estimated balance for next year to be spent is slightly under $700,000 total, and funds to be budgeted for or expensed in the following activities. Once again, summer school programs for K through 8, after-school instruction for the secondary level, salaries for instructional personnel such as teacher assistants, reading teachers, and a social worker, salaries for non-instructional personnel, again for security and custodial staff, PD trainings and workshops for teachers and educators district-wide, again the STEM program, district-wide software communications platform for the community for the 3rd year of the plan, and lastly, technology purchases of switches for network connectivity district-wide. Over the course of the 3 years, there were some amendments to the original proposed $2.1 million plan. The first amendment was regarding summer instruction, where there was an increased need of participation at MWD. Therefore, we had to reallocate funding for instructional salaries. The second and third amendments noted there are related to really a recoding or a reclassification, as the original intent was to buy the service from the vendor directly. However, we were able to negotiate with BOCES and buy through the cooperative to obtain better pricing. So therefore, that was just essentially a recoding of an expenditure. And lastly, the final one noted for lost instructional time was for additional funds for summer programs at the elementary level, as well as instructional salaries for elementary and secondary world language to help address student learning loss. So those were the amendments that have been necessary along the way. Thank you, and if the board has any questions, ask now or at a later time. Thank you again.
A lot of the things that we'll do tonight are required by law, and so the next thing we have to do is to say that after we look at our budget this year, we have to establish a reserve plan for any funds that are left over, and it's required to be done before June 30th. So, Mr. Caputo, would you inform us on that?
Yes, thank you. As Dr. Lewis indicated, there are resolutions, multiple resolutions on the board agenda tonight for board action. The district's required, all schools are required to have annual funding amounts on the June board agenda for resolutions to put potential funding into the reserve at the end of each fiscal year, which is June 30th. There are 5 resolutions for tonight for consideration and approval. There are an estimated amount, it's not to exceed, so therefore the district would not, and the Board of Ed would not be able to put reserves in greater than that amount. And the final determination of the funding for each will not be possible until the annual external audit, which concludes every fall of the prior fiscal year. The district and the Board of Ed then again in the fall, once everything is finalized with the auditors, will then have a second set of resolutions for the final dollar amount. Thank you.
Thank you. This week, on June 12th, we had our pre-K lottery. Now, you have to recall that we began with nothing at the beginning of the year, but lots of hope that we would be able to provide a pre-K program. That entails being able to find a vendor, because we are out of space in this district. We have not a single room to house a pre-K program. Although we have all the willing hearts to do it, we couldn't find any room. So we went out, we did an RFP, and 2 vendors responded that they'd be able to house our students for the year. It required us to look at the facilities to make sure that they're up to code, that they have certificates and all of the necessary obligations that we have to perform in order to offer the program. We thought we had 2 vendors ready to go. It turns out that we only had 1 vendor who was only originally offering us 20 slots. We went back to that vendor, and lo and behold, they were able to give us another classroom. So we now have 40 slots with this vendor. And so when we held our lottery on June 12th, which is, by the way, the reason we delayed the lottery until June 12th, because we wanted to be sure that we had all certified vendors. We held our lottery. There were 55 people who wanted slots for next year. So there's a 55, and we were able to meet the demand for 40. And I believe 3 did not qualify for pre-K for whatever reason. So in essence, we had 52 people who we needed to service. So I apologize that we started with nothing, but now one person looks at it that we were able to serve 40 students for next year that we never were able to do. So that's the good side. But the other side of it is I understand those 12 people who are disappointed and did not get the seats. Please know, for the people who got the 40 slots, you must tell us by June 25th whether you're taking those slots or not. Because, I'm sorry, June 22nd. Thank you, Jeannie. By June, it was set. It's very clear in the email. You must tell us by that afternoon, because those slots will be forfeited and given to the other folks who are on the waiting list. It's only fair. So you have until June 22nd, which is right around the corner, to tell us whether you're taking it or not. It must be in the affirmative that you're taking it. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to take it, I'm not going to say anything. I'm saying it very clearly here. It must be in the affirmative, because on June 23rd, any slots not claimed will go to the next person on the line. So congratulations for the 40 people who got the spaces. I know that they're happy that they did, but I feel it for the 12 that didn't, and we're going to we still are going to keep trying to see if we can get someone to service, even if it's mid-year. We really do want to provide the program for everybody who needs it next year. Juneteenth is this Friday, and I'm hoping that everybody will be out here. If you haven't bought your T-shirts, please do so. It's the fundraising. That's the way they fundraise. We're going to have a blast. It will be out in the back. It starts at St. Paul's, which is one of the churches in the Lakeview area. The marching band will gather there. We'll march through Lakeview and come in through Henry Street and begin the proceedings here. Come hungry. Come hungry, because the food trucks will be out. It's an international buffet. Please come and enjoy the dancing, the singing, and I'm hearing from assemblymen in Brooklyn wanting to come because they've heard about our Juneteenth ceremonies. People are getting on board. So please come and enjoy the celebrations. And for those of you who don't know what Juneteenth was, Juneteenth happens 2 years after the proclamation. Everyone thought slaves were free, except in Texas. It took 2 more years for the slaves in Texas to hear that they have been free. And so Juneteenth has been celebrated in this country since 1867 in Texas, but it now is a national celebration. So they lived for 2 more years in slavery because news never got to Texas to say those slaves were free. And that's why it's celebrated. It's a reaffirmation of the day that slavery was abolished in the United States. So that people that look like you and me, maybe not you, but look like me, and a lot of people here look like me, have been celebrating their freedom from slavery. Yes, please.
Just want to say one thing. Even if you don't look like me or her or me or not you, but I want you to know you are still invited. Please come out. You do not have to look like me to attend the event. And I want to make it very clear. This is a family event, Malverne supported family event. So please, everyone come out.
This place turns out. I don't think we have to say that. Everybody in Malverne celebrates us all, right? We celebrate each other.
No one wants to miss a party.
Nah, and we love a party, and we love good food. So come on out.
And there is a lot of food, please. It's a lot of food trucks. Come.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from our May Board of Education meeting? Can I get a second, please? All in favor? Yes, thank you. Okay, now I need a motion to accept as the consent agenda items 12A through Z and double A through double Y, 13 and 14. All in favor? Yes. I think we've covered that more. Yeah, do you want, well, I still have to get it approved and then you can. Now I need a motion to approve the consent agenda. All in favor? Yes. Okay, thank you.
So a new era has begun in Malverne, and I would like to congratulate Dr. Romano, because tonight he officially has been approved to be the next Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. Dr. Romano has served the district for 17 years? 19 years, and is the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. And in that same agenda is his replacement, Ms. Kesha Bascom, who will become the new principal of Malverne High School. We wish them all the best as they begin their new career, and we know that they'll take Malverne to the next level. So thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to public participation now. Is there anyone here who would like to address the board? Please come forward, state your name and address.
Hi, my name is Jamie Lee. I live at 39 Monroe Street. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. My daughter is starting kindergarten in September, and I just wanted to request that we're a vegan family, so I wanted to request some vegan options in the school. And I just want to share some information about plant-based diet. The American Dietetic Association, this is a quote from them, "It is the position of the American Dietetic Association that appropriately planned vegetarian diets, including total vegetarian or vegan diets, are healthful, nutritionally adequate, and may provide health benefits in the prevention and treatment of certain diseases. Well-planned vegan diets are appropriate for individuals during all stages of the life cycle, including pregnancy, lactation, infancy, childhood, and adolescence, and for athletes. The health benefits of a plant-based diet include decreased risk of cardiovascular disease, high cholesterol, diabetes, and even some forms of cancer. Eating meat, dairy, and eggs doesn't just harm animals and the environment, it can also have a negative impact on our health. Eating processed meat increases our chance of developing cancer, and research suggests that consuming animals' flesh, milk, and eggs could be as detrimental to our health as smoking. The Colorado University stated that animal agriculture produces 65% of the world's nitrous oxide emissions, which has a global warming impact 296 times greater than carbon dioxide. Raising livestock animals for human consumption generates nearly 15% of total global greenhouse gas emissions, which is greater than all forms of transportation emissions combined. It also uses nearly 70% of agricultural land, which leads to being a major contributing factor to deforestation, biodiversity loss, and water pollution. Some of these options can be as simple as a PBJ sandwich, veggie fried rice, pasta and broccoli, vegan pizza with non-dairy cheese, chickpea salad, a bagel with vegan cream cheese or avocado spread, and vegan yogurt. Aside from all of these factors, we should all strive to evolve and create a more compassionate, kind, and sustainable world for our future generations, and it starts with one person who can make a difference to accelerate positive change. So I'm asking to please create, even if it's one or two options, so I don't have to cook for her every day and send in her lunch. It would be great for her to be, included and be able to just go to school and have that option. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm assuming we can talk to our vendor about perhaps getting some vegan options. Thank you. Would anyone else like to address the board? Come on, jump, yeah.
Good evening, Jan Kassel, 11 Lincourt. I saw two items on the agenda that are new to me, and one is called the tax anticipation note. I don't know, I don't remember ever being it called this way, and so my question is it new, and if it was already presented or it will be presented, and how it clicks together with the school budget.
Can Chris address that for us, please? Thank you.
Yeah, so there's a item on the agenda in new business for a tax anticipation note. What that is, Mr. Cassell, that's actually an annual resolution. So in the event for next school year, should the district need to borrow funds to continue operations until tax receipts come in, which don't normally start until October, November, December, when the tax receipts come in from the town to the school district. Occasionally, on an annual basis, the school may need to borrow funds to cover operations and payroll costs from July through early fall. So the resolution tonight is to simply give the district the authority or the ability to go out and borrow the funds if necessary next year in the fall, should the district need it to fund operations. So it's not guaranteed we're going to do. We do our best annually not to borrow the funds to try to save interest expense for the taxpayers. However, in the event, due to cash flow needs, if the district does need the funding for a month or two, we will have to go out and go through bidding process for funds. So this resolution just gives the district the authority to do that next year.
Thank you for explanation. This is newly called a note, correct? Because the borrowing was allowed already in previous years. Or what
A TAN,
triggered
it's a
the-
tax anticipation note, so it's always been called a TAN. A tax anticipation note is the name for this.
Uh,
It's not a new item, it's an annual standard operation resolution.
Thank you. And another new item to me, at least, is so-called U.S. legal support for nationwide litigation. Could you elaborate on it a little bit?
Can you tell us what number or item that is?
It is under letter Y. And I guess the school districts participate in some nationwide litigation, and that's why we are entering in this contract.
Chris, can you tell us what that contract is for, please?
This resolution is just, it's for legal services to have access to the vendor. There is no, that's just the name of the legal firm. There is no litigation going on. They just provide legal services to the district. It's not for a specific lawsuit.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am being told that there are no questions online. Okay, so I think, once again, thank you all for coming out and participating and honoring our PTA parents who serve such an important function in this district. Can I get a motion to close, please? All in favor? Yes. Thanks again. Good night. Oh, dates to remember now that we're closed. Yeah, I'll do it this way. I have, so June 16th is, as we mentioned earlier, the Juneteenth celebration. It starts at 4 p.m. in front of St. Paul's AME Church at 453 Pershing Boulevard in Rockville Center. And then it will continue into the Malverne High School grounds. Our schools will be closed on June 19th for Juneteenth. Our Herbert moving up ceremony will be at 6 p.m. on June 21st at the Herbert Auditorium. Our moving up ceremony for Davison Avenue will be on June 22nd. That will be at 9 a.m. at the Herbert Auditorium. The moving up ceremony for Maurice W. Downing, just popped on me, that will be at 10:15 a.m. at the Herbert Auditorium on June 22nd. Malverne High School graduation will be on June 23rd. That's 6 p.m. at the Malverne High School football field. And that is also the last day of school for all students. June 24th is the rain date for the graduation. Hopefully we won't need it. And on June 28th through July 5th, our Malverne High School Select Choir will be on their trip to Ireland, and we wish them safe travels and a wonderful experience. Did I miss any dates anywhere? Okay. July.
No, June 14th is the high school award ceremony.
Oh, right, so that happens. No, this
Tomorrow
is the
night.
13th.
Tomorrow night
So
at
it's-
7 o'clock. The high school awards. And the Herbert Awards, it would be the June 15th. So there's every night an opportunity to be out.
Right, it's a busy time of year. The senior awards will be here at the MPAC, is that correct? Oh, are we going to do it over at Herbert? Okay, so I wasn't clear on that. Okay, if I haven't missed anything else, once again, I will thank you all for coming and wish you a very good evening. Thank you.